India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They're working, starting families, bringing up children, and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program, Connecting Cultures, they share their stories that had occurred in their lives before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them, we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. Today's guest on Connecting Cultures is passionate about food and shares this with food lovers in the city of Almaty. Owner of a chain of Italian restaurants and a cooking show host, we will tell you more today about this talented chef and the fascinating life of Giorgio Palazzi. The Italian Giorgio Palazzi has been in the restaurant business for over 20 years. Every day he works in the kitchen of his own restaurant, which has become the standard of Italian cuisine in Almaty. Giorgio personally selects the products for their dishes. Many products are ordered from Italy, such as rice, spaghetti, pasta, olive oil, and parmesan. In order to get the freshest products, some are grown in a greenhouse, such as cherry tomatoes, basil, and arugula. He also raises rabbits and is going to continue to develop this area. Giorgio manages great relationships with his guests of the restaurant, which assured if Giorgio is not in the restaurant, the dishes will not be as delicious. Giorgio, tell us a little bit about your childhood and maybe how you grew up.
Well, it's quite unusual childhood. I grew up traveling all over the world because my father was an architect and having a lot of projects around the world. So basically I grew up in Arab countries, in Kuwait for 5 years, then I was in Riyadh for 2 years, and between this time I went also in Greece for 2 years. So it was a quite interesting challenge, you know, meeting with different people and confrontation with different people and different mentalities.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do have a sister. She's also involved in food, and she's growing herself organic and bio food. So vegetables, organic fruits, and she also has more than 100 olive trees, and she produces a very high level olive oil, extra virgin cold press, and she lives with that. So that's also involving her in food and living with food.
How did you end up becoming a chef or getting into food?
Well, it all started because of my mom. My mom was she is still a very good cook. And I was her favorite person to make try when she was preparing things, especially when we had guests for dinner, you know, so people invited at home. She was always asking, Giorgio, please, can you tell me this is okay? Is it all right? La, la, la. And so from that moment, I started to develop, first of all, a very conscious skill to recognize if something was done properly or not, because I could recognize the good one from the bad one. And from that point, I started to develop myself. And actually at 10 years old, I was cooking actually pretty good, because when I was 14, I was invited from other houses to cook for guests. So they pay me at 14 years old. So people was liking very much, my way of cooking. And so, that's a passion. Then, of course, I did all the schools, I went to university, I graduated as an economist. I did economics for 10 years, but my old inside passion was shouting, go back to food. And actually, so from that point of view, one morning, I decided, so, no more, and no more economy, and I went immediately in Belize and opened the first restaurant that of my story. And it was very successful. In 6 months, we became #1 restaurant in all the country.
So tell me, how did you end up being in Kazakhstan, on this side of the world?
I was working as a, let's say, financial consultant in this big group of Italian companies. And my area was the East, so Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong. And one day the president of the company said to me, Giorgio, this time you're not going to Tokyo, but you're going to Almaty in Kazakhstan. And I was quite impressed and surprised. And when I arrived here, of course, the operation was quite tough to set up, but I did. In 1 year and a half, we set up this beautiful restaurant. And in this period of time, I met my wife and I got married. So I came as single and I came back married man.
So after you got married, did you decide on staying in Kazakhstan?
Well, not that moment. That moment was not really easy to set any kind of business or operation. So set this operation that took a year and a half, we decided to go back. So I came back with, of course, my wife. And we continue, our usual job. But one day, I just stood up from waking up in the morning and I decided I don't want to do any more of this kind of job. And I felt that my destiny was to do a restaurant. Actually, I like it very much how to set the operation in Kazakhstan. And so I decided, let's open a restaurant. And together with my wife, we decided, okay, let's do the operation. Where? So we tried to find a place that was very easy for taxes. And because, you never know, maybe not successful if you have also a very heavy taxation. You would be, in trouble. So we decided Belize in Central America. From that moment, I understood that was my way. And we continued there for 3 years. Then we went to Panama. We wanted to set an operation over there, but my wife was pregnant already. And so we went back to Italy. We had our baby, which now has 12 years old. And he's with us here, of course. And then when he was 3 years old, we decided, let's go back in Kazakhstan. The economy was growing very fast. No problem at all to set operations. The climate, the atmosphere was fine. People friendly, we had relatives, so why not Kazakhstan?
What associations do we have when we hear the phrase Italian cuisine? Of course, it's pizza, pasta, the sweet dessert tiramisu, risotto, lots of fresh vegetables and seafood, as well as the world-famous pesto sauce made from fresh basil and olive oil. It is said that the Italian hostess does not know what will be cooked until coming to the food market. Great Italian cuisine is generally prepared with the use of seasonal ingredients. Due to this, it differs with its freshness and abundance of valuable vitamins. Plenty of vegetables and herbs make dishes not only delicious, but also extremely useful. Another secret of Italian cuisine is the speed of cooking preparation. In any kitchen in the world, you will not find nearly as many quick recipes. Any pasta can be cooked in about 20 minutes, and you get a delicious lunch or dinner. And of course, pizza. It is fairly easy to prepare the dough, a variety of fillings, the use of herbs and cheese, and it bakes fairly quickly. Pizza has turned into one of the favorite dishes of adults and children all around the world. By the way, Italian cuisine was entered into the list of the most useful national cuisines of the world. So Giorgio, you're definitely one of the experts in Italian cuisine here in the city. What were some difficulties starting up, and especially those that you faced with your restaurant?
Well, the first challenge was to meet a different language where was used for everything, even for permissions, bureaucracy, whatsoever. Thanks God I have relatives, so I could manage. The second big challenge was to teach Kazakh what is the Italian cuisine, because they had so many wrong information coming from trips to America or whatsoever. And so a lot of very wrong information that they were bringing, like the Bible of the Italian cuisine. So for me, it was quite a big challenge. And in the beginning, I was, really conflicting with customers that they were saying, but no, I ate, the lasagna was made like this. And then I said, no, I'm coming from Bologna, who invented lasagna. And I tell you, this is lasagna. Slowly, slowly, I could manage. And now I can tell my customers know when they want to eat something really genuine Italian, they come in my place.
So also the disadvantages or the difficulties, but what about the positive things? What are some things that you enjoy doing, or hobbies or activities that you enjoy in the country?
I like very much to stay a little bit with the family. So when it's, for example, time to have a little bit of break off, and we are going very often to see the beauty of Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has an outrageous, amazing nature. If you go to see the canyon, the Grand Canyon, or if you go to the big lake of Almaty, or if you go, you have beautiful part of. I went in the steppe for some reason, and to me, I was amazed. This open space in the night, you can touch the stars because of the lack of, electricity. So there was nothing around. So fantastic. And in the winter, I go skiing. So me and my son, we pack our things and we go skiing for a couple of days. Maybe we go to Akbolak, or we go to Chimbolak. So we enjoy doing things and enjoying the nature of Kazakhstan.
So I wanted to ask you about your plans, your future goals maybe, and ambitions that you have. What are they?
Thinking about, even doing a sort of franchising for the pizzeria and see how it goes. Why not? This is my place where I want to retire. So this is my plans.
Great.
I love this country very much, and that's why I'm setting here. I'm building my house. I have my business. I have my wife, which is Kazakh. My son is half Kazakh, half Italian. And actually, I really think that is the most nearest country to Italy that you can ever find on earth, because we have the same traditions, the same important things in like family, like friends, like being together for singing and eating and enjoying. This is typical of Kazakhstan, but is typical of Italy. And you don't find this everywhere. So to me, this is the ideal place where to live.
As the saying goes, all roads lead to Rome, but in the life of Giorgio Palazzi, all roads lead to Almaty.